Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Deserts and Garden Podcast. I'm your host Nathan, here with my beautiful wife Mia.
Hey guys, if you're new here on this podcast, we share our daily highs and lows. This is not by any means a highlight reel, but where we share the realities of navigating marriage, faith, and our life together with God's guidance every step of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So piggybacking on yesterday's episode of Spiritual Dry Season, we're going to extend today and discuss loving each other through exhaustion.
Yeah, so we'll be breaking today's episode into 3 sections like we do. First, we'll talk about what exhaustion actually looks like in marriage. Then we'll talk about how to stay on the same team when you're both drained. So yesterday, I kind of was like, we could talk about one spouse but then we could also talk about both spouses, but we didn't have enough time yesterday to talk about when both spouses are drained. So that's why we were like, let's just do another episode and talk about when both spouses are drained. And then lastly, we'll wrap it up by talking about how Jesus carries us through what, we can't carry ourselves through or what we can't carry the other person through.
Yeah, so, whether you're listening from your car, you're in your kitchen, or maybe you're just laying on the floor wondering how you're going to make it through the day, this one's for you.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say there have been so many nights recently where I've looked at Nathan and thought, I love you, but I literally don't have one more ounce of energy to give. Being pregnant and just with all of the emotional stuff that goes into that, and then we're having, family issues, health issues. There's like a lot going on, and it is a lot of pressure, and it is just very physically and emotionally draining.
Yeah, facts. From my side, it has been a stretch. We're currently in a season where I'm working almost every single day.
Yeah.
With no real end in sight. Basically. No days off.
Right.
And when I am home, it's cooking, it's cleaning, it's running errands, and I'm just, literally trying to hold everything together, and I'm barely catching a breath.
Well, the cooking and cleaning has been in the first trimester because the smell of cooking meat makes me want to vomit.
Yeah, it's bad.
But I'm trying. It's getting a little bit better. I just, yeah.
Yeah, but even with all that, I know, and I feel it, I have not been emotionally present.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the first trimester. Everybody says it's hard, and while I symptomatically haven't been that awful, there are just, some things like the food aversions and the smells that I am very sensitive, and I guess, maybe that's to my benefit that you're so sweet to do my cooking, because I haven't thrown up, but when I have tried, cooking and stuff, that's the closest I've been to vomiting, because it's disgusting. Sorry, that's maybe TMI, but so just with not being able to do as much physically, things like cooking and grocery shopping, they have fallen on Nathan. And it's not that you're mean even or distant, but it is I could feel the weight that you're carrying, and it makes me feel stressed by association, if that makes any sense at all.
No, yeah, it does. I think one of the tricky things about this season is we're on the same page, we're still connected, but it's just heavy.
Exactly. I mean, it's not disconnection, it's just exhaustion, and exhaustion can affect your mood. It can affect your patience, even how quickly you assume the worst about a comment that maybe didn't mean anything, but could also have meant that you're being resentful or, whatever. But
for real,
it's real life.
If we're both low on energy, it's easy to forget, the other person is not the problem. The season is the problem.
Sometimes. I'm just kidding. No, I agree. We have, obviously we're in this, so, right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's just reminding yourself every day that life is a lot, and lifing is a lot, and we're not failing. We're enduring, and God honors that, even though it's messy and sometimes not so fun. Just make it fun. That's life.
Make it fun. So moving on from there, how do you stay on the same team when both of you are drained? One thing I say we've learned Don't wait until you feel full to show up to your spouse. To show up tired.
Yeah. I mean, even today, I think we're both pretty wiped.
Yeah.
We started this at 7 a.m. and I think I've said this before. Like, there's a lot going on with our families. Our sleep has been like trash.
Yeah.
And yet we're still prioritizing reading and podcasting and trying to get back in the swing of our rhythms despite being exhausted.
Right, like we've definitely fell off here for a little bit, but just realizing like I need God. I need to keep turning toward you and not away from you. I feel like one small action can make a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes loving each other through exhaustion looks like giving your spouse the benefit of the doubt, choosing not to take everything so personally. I mean, grace goes such a long way.
Yep, and like on a practical note, don't fight when you're tired. Like seriously, just say, I love you. Maybe say like, I love you, I'm at 1%. I can't deal with this. Or can we circle back on this tomorrow? That's wisdom, not avoidance.
Right, and that brings me to the best part, I think, which is that we don't have to carry it all. We can say, I'm exhausted, this is too much, give it to Jesus. Matthew 11:28 says, come to me, all who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. And sometimes one or the other of the spouse needs to just say, hey, we need to go to God. We need to give this a rest. Let's pick this up tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, I feel specifically that verse has been so real for us. Because in this season, we're always running on empty. But God isn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't need us to be the superheroes. He just wants us to come to him.
Right. And I'll add, sometimes coming to him just means collapsing in prayer. It's not polished, it's not fancy, it's not these long, eloquent, I know the word back and forth. Like, sometimes it's just a God, I'm tired. God, please help. God, we don't know what we're doing. Give us wisdom. The Bible says if you ask for wisdom, he will give it to you abundantly. And you just asking, that is enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to impress God with strength you don't have.
Right.
Like, he meets us in the deserts. He meets us in the gardens. He gives us what we need to love our spouse, even when we're running on the fumes.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you're exhausted emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, we see you and God sees you. Most importantly, take a breath, take a nap if you need it.
Sleep.
And remember, you're not in this alone.
Absolutely. Like, you know, if this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend. You know, leave us a review, send us a message. We love hearing how this podcast is speaking to your heart.
Yeah, and if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, go ahead and tap those stars or drop a comment because we read every single one of them.
Yes, we do. But in the meantime, thank you guys for listening to the Deserts and Garden podcast. Until next time, walk in love.
Live with purpose.
And trust God in every desert and garden.
See ya.